They went to bed thinking it was just another quiet night by the sea. No war, no storm, no warning. By morning, their city was gone. Not burned, not conquered, simply swallowed by the earth itself. And, for centuries, people thought this story was a myth, until the ocean gave it back. This is the night the legendary city of Helike disappeared. In ancient Greece, Helike was powerful, wealthy, and proud. It controlled trade routes along the Gulf of Corinth and worshipped Poseidon, the god of the sea and earthquakes. The city believed it was under divine protection. Sailors stopped there for safe harbor. Merchants grew rich. Temples shone with offerings to the gods. Helike wasn't just a town. It was a symbol of stability in a dangerous world. Then came the winter night of 373 BC. Witnesses in nearby cities later described strange signs in the days before. Animals fled inland. The sea pulled back from the shore as if it was holding its breath. People heard deep rumbling beneath the ground, but no one panicked. Earthquakes were common in Greece. The city had survived them before. Then the ground broke. In the darkness, the earth split open beneath Helike. Buildings collapsed in seconds. Streets folded into themselves. Temples shattered. People who ran were swallowed by cracks in the ground. And as the survivors tried to escape toward higher ground, something even worse happened. The sea rushed in. A massive surge of water poured into the collapsing city. Not a normal wave, not a storm surge, a violent wall of water that flooded the ruins and buried everything under mud and debris. By sunrise, Helike was no longer a city. It was a shallow lagoon. Thousands were dead. Sailors passing the area in the following years reported something terrifying. On calm days, they could see the tops of statues and broken columns beneath the water. The ruins of a city frozen in time below the surface. Ancient writers described Helike as a warning from the gods. They said Poseidon destroyed the city as punishment for arrogance and sacrilege. For generations, Helike became a legend about divine revenge. And then, it vanished again. Over centuries, the coastline changed. Rivers shifted. Sediment buried the lagoon. Even the memory of where Helike had stood began to fade. Scholars debated whether the city had ever truly existed, or if it was just a moral tale exaggerated by ancient authors. Some even suggested Helike inspired the myth of Atlantis, a powerful city destroyed overnight by the sea. For over 2,000 years, Helike was lost. Then, in the late 20th century, something incredible happened. Greek archaeologists began searching the fields near the Gulf of Corinth. Locals reported finding strange stone blocks when plowing their land. Using ground-penetrating radar and underwater surveys, researchers detected structures buried beneath layers of silt, walls, streets, foundations, not on land, under former seabed. They had found Helike. The city had not sunk into the deep ocean. It had been dragged down into a muddy coastal plain by liquefaction, a phenomenon where earthquake vibrations turned solid ground into flowing sludge. The buildings didn't just fall, the ground itself collapsed and swallowed them. Then the sea flooded in and sealed the city beneath layers of sediment, preserving it like a time capsule. This wasn't divine punishment, it was geological terror. And Helike wasn't alone. Modern science now knows that entire cities can vanish in hours through earthquakes, tsunamis, and soil collapse. It happened in ancient Greece. It happened in Indonesia. It happened in Japan. The difference is that today, we can measure the fault lines. We can model the waves. We can see the danger coming. But even now, there are coastal cities built on soft ground, sitting on hidden fault systems, protected only by the illusion of stability. Helike thought it was safe. Helike thought the gods were on its side. Helike went to sleep wealthy and proud. And by morning, it had become a story sailors whispered about as they passed over a drowned city beneath their ships. The ground beneath you feels solid, but history shows sometimes the earth only pretends to be stable.